Surprise.
What if the person you miss the most suddenly appeared right in front of you, hidden inside a box? This heartwarming story of Quang and Linda will melt your heart. While Quang is away on a business trip, Linda spends her lonely days longing for his return. But one unexpected call changes everything. A mysterious gift arrives at her door, leading to the most emotional surprise of her life. Don't miss this touching moment of love and reunion. Hit subscribe and join us for this unforgettable romantic story. The house felt painfully quiet after Quang left for his business trip. Every corner seemed to echo with his absence. The ticking of the clock sounded louder, the soft hum of the refrigerator lonelier, and even the wind brushing against the curtains felt colder than usual. Linda tried to convince herself that it was only for a few days, that Quang would soon be back with his familiar smile and gentle voice. But her heart refused to be reasoned with. It missed him, deeply, helplessly, endlessly. Each morning, she still brewed 2 cups of coffee out of habit, one for herself, one for him. His mug, the dark blue one with a tiny crack near the handle, stayed untouched on the table. She often caught herself glancing at it, imagining him sitting there, scrolling through his phone while teasing her about adding too much sugar again. But when she blinked, reality came crashing back. There was no Quang, no laughter, only the stillness of an empty kitchen and the faint aroma of coffee that reminded her of him. At night, the longing grew heavier. Linda would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind wandering to the hotel room where Quang must be staying. Was he eating well? Did he get enough rest? Was he thinking about her too? The distance between them wasn't just measured in kilometers, it was measured in moments she wished he were there. When she cooked dinner, when she watered the plants, when she watched the funny movie and instinctively turned to share the joke, only to realize he wasn't there to laugh with her. Sometimes she would open their photo album, scrolling through pictures from their last trip to Dalat, the one where Quang had wrapped his arms around her from behind, both of them smiling under the drizzle. The more she looked, the more her chest ached with nostalgia. The world outside went on as usual, people laughing, cars passing, time moving forward. But inside Linda's heart, it felt as if everything had paused, waiting for the sound of his footsteps at the door. And yet, despite the loneliness, there was a quiet beauty in her waiting. Each day she folded his shirts neatly, watered the little bonsai he loved, and left a soft light on in the living room, just in case he came home late. The small rituals kept her heart steady, like gentle reminders that love wasn't all about being together, but also about enduring the distance with faith. Somewhere out there, Quang was working hard, perhaps missing her just as much. And though miles apart, Linda could almost hear his voice whisper through the silence. "Wait for me, my love. I'll be home soon." On the 4th evening of Quang's trip, as the sun dipped low behind the quiet street, Linda sat by the window with her phone resting on the table beside her. She had been staring at it for a while, her fingers tracing absent circles on the wooden surface, when suddenly it began to ring. The familiar name lit up the screen. Quang calling. Her heart skipped a beat. She answered almost immediately, her voice trembling slightly with warmth. "Hey, love." Quang's deep voice came through the speaker, carrying that calm tone that always made her chest tighten with affection. "How are you holding up without me?" Linda smiled faintly, even though her eyes glistened. "It's quiet, too quiet. The house misses you." He chuckled softly, the sound like sunlight breaking through the clouds. "I miss it too, and I miss you more than I thought I would." His words lingered in the air, tender and real, wrapping around her like an embrace across the miles. Then, after a brief pause, his tone shifted playfully. "Listen, I've arranged for something to be delivered to you tomorrow afternoon. Don't open it until I call, all right?" Her curiosity piqued immediately. "What is it?" He only laughed. "A surprise. You'll see. Make sure you're home." And before she could ask again, he said softly, "I love you." And the line went silent. That night, Linda could hardly sleep. The idea of a surprise from Quang filled her with a warm excitement that pushed away the loneliness. What could it be? He wasn't the kind of man who bought gifts often. He preferred experiences over objects. Perhaps it was something sentimental, something that carried a piece of him. A handmade card, a framed photo from their last trip, or maybe something completely unexpected. The next afternoon, a delivery truck pulled up outside the gate. Linda opened the door and blinked in surprise when two men carefully carried in a massive box, almost as tall as she was, wrapped in shiny silver paper with a huge red ribbon tied around it. "This is for you, ma'am," one of them said with a grin before leaving. She stood there for a moment, heart racing. The box seemed too large for any ordinary gift. 1,000 thoughts flooded her mind, but one emotion overpowered them all: anticipation. Quang's timing was impeccable. Her phone buzzed just then with a message: "Open it, my love." Her hands trembled as she knelt beside the mysterious box. The paper crackled as she peeled it back, her pulse quickening with every sound. The air felt charged with something magical, the same way it had the first time Quang had confessed his feelings to her under the city lights. She smiled nervously, not knowing that in just a few seconds, her world was about to shift from longing to astonishment, from loneliness to overflowing joy. The moment Linda lifted the lid, a faint rustle came from inside the box. Then, in the next instant, the lid burst open with a sudden pop. She gasped and instinctively stepped back, her heart leaping into her throat. Out of the enormous box, a figure slowly rose, holding a bouquet of red roses so vivid they seemed to glow in the soft afternoon light. For a split second, Linda couldn't breathe. Her mind went blank, as if time itself had stopped, until that familiar, teasing smile curved across his lips. "Miss me already?" Quang said with a grin, his voice half playful, half tender. Linda's hand flew to her mouth, her eyes widened, disbelief flashing into pure joy as tears welled up uncontrollably. "Quang," she whispered, her voice trembling, "is that really you?" He stepped out of the box, still laughing softly, and before she could say another word, he crossed the room in 2 quick strides and pulled her into his arms. The warmth of his body, the scent of his cologne, all of it hit her at once, real and alive. Linda buried her face into his chest, tears spilling freely down her cheeks. You scared me," she half laughed, half cried, pounding lightly against his shoulder. "I thought it was some delivery prank." Quang chuckled, brushing her hair gently away from her face. "I couldn't wait any longer. The deal finished earlier than I expected, and I thought, what better surprise than to deliver myself to you?" Linda laughed through her tears, looking up at him with that mixture of awe and affection that only love could create. "You're unbelievable," she murmured. "And you," he said softly, touching her cheek, "are worth every mile I had to cross to see that smile again." For a long while, they simply held each other in silence. Outside, the late sun painted the walls in hues of gold and amber, and the soft rustle of leaves outside their window became the only sound in the world. Linda could feel his heartbeat beneath her palm, steady and strong, the rhythm she had missed every night he'd been away. When they finally sat down, surrounded by torn wrapping paper and the faint scent of roses, Linda couldn't stop smiling. "You really hid inside that box?" she asked, shaking her head in disbelief. Quang laughed. "It wasn't exactly comfortable, but seeing your face, Totally worth it. Linda leaned her head against his shoulder, her laughter quiet and full of love. You're crazy, she whispered. Crazy for you, he said simply. And in that simple moment, wrapped in his arms, with laughter and tears mingling in equal measure, Linda realized that sometimes love didn't need grand gestures or perfect words. Sometimes it was enough just to show up, to come home, and to remind someone that distance means nothing when hearts never drift apart.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Mỹ Tự Ninja Review. Vậy là trong chương trình của chúng ta ngày hôm nay thì Quang đã có một món quà rất là bất ngờ dành tặng cho Ninja. Đó chính là việc anh đã trốn trong hộp quà gửi về tặng cho Ninja và ờ, khi Ninja mở quà ra thì anh bỗng nhiên xuất hiện ở trong hộp quà, nhảy ra ngoài. Điều đó khiến cho Ninja cảm thấy rất là vui mừng và hạnh phúc. Mọi tình tiết về câu chuyện sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh, nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.